Hello, my dear students. Very good morning to all of you. Once again, I welcome you all to this TYBSc online lecture. In the last lecture, we discussed about the definition and the introduction of glass, where we already known that defined that glass is the combination of inorganic volatile oxides of different metal oxides, which is a hard brittle consisting of supercooled liquid amorphous solid, that is known as the glass. In the this lecture we are going to see the physical properties, chemical properties and classification of glass. Now, what are the physical properties? Physical properties of a glass are determined by its chemical composition. Some of important physical properties are summarized as follows. We can see here, a glass is not a true solid, which we already discussed that a glass is not a true solid, which is a supercooled amorphous supercooled liquid. It has no fixed melting point. Glass is a transparent amorphous solid, that is, as we know that it's not a solid, it's not a crystalline solid, it is a transparent amorphous solid. Second one, on heating, glass on heating gradually it softens and then melts over wide range of temperature into mobile liquid. As we know that whenever if any glass, if it is on heating, it forms a mobile liquid, means it is gradually softening and forms into a mobile liquid form. Glass is hard and brittle. This is very important. Glass is hard and brittle. It is an amorphous solid and therefore it breaks. That is, it breaks. What is a brittle? Brittle means nothing but it is easily breakable. Whenever if it is falls from a top a height, definitely the glass can be easily break. Therefore, glass is a hard but brittle in nature. It is a bad conductor of heat and electricity. As we know that glass is a bad conductor of heat and electricity, therefore it acts as an insulator. In many of the cases we know that from the glass cannot transfer the electricity as well as heat also, therefore it acts as an insulator. Glass is practically insoluble in water. This is very important. If you pieces of a glass, if you want to soluble in water, then definitely it is not soluble. Therefore, glass is practically insoluble in water. Next is, it has a vitrification property. What is vitrification property? Vitrification property is glass on fusion, means on continuous fusion, forms transparent mobile liquid. Transparent mobile liquid, which shows slow cooling forms of an amorphous solid. This process is known as vitrification. As we know that once if a glass rod or anything, if a glass material or a glass rod, for your practical purpose, if you take a glass rod and then you heat it, what will happen? The glass which is a glass material, that forms into softening and forms into mobile liquid, that is transparent to mobile liquid, but after cooling, slow cooling, again it will become the amorphous solid. This is called as the process of vitrification. Means glass on heating it forms into mobile liquid, which on slow cooling again it forms an amorphous solid. This process is known as the vitrification process. Again, glass has devitrification process. What do you mean by devitrification? Glass has tendency of losing its transparency and becoming opaque due to the crystallization of the component silicates. This is known as the devitrification of a glass. Crystallization is possible because of defective annealing or very slow cooling. Now see, where the glass has the property of vitrification, also it has the devitrification. What is the devitrification? Whenever glass has tendency of losing its transparency, where means it forms opaque in nature due to the crystallization of component of silicates. This crystallization can be possible only the not slow cooling, that is called as a defective in the annealing. Annealing is nothing but the process of a slow cooling, that is called as the annealing. Where isotropic property also has the glass material having the isotropic properties. What is the isotropic property? Glass process similar properties in the all possible directions, and therefore it is called as the isotropic property. Glass has an important property of becoming plastic on heating, where it has the plastic on heating. As we know that once you heat the glass material, glass we can say articles, we can mold it in any ways. We can mold it in any different types of shape having the a plastic properties, where the transparency of a glass can be preserved even when coloring materials are incorporated into it. This is a very important property where you can see in the different physical properties of the glass material. Next we see the chemical properties of a glass. What is mean by chemical property? Where the reactions can be occurred with respect to certain chemicals. Glass is not attacked by air and oxidizing agent. This is very important. Where the glass is not attacked by air and oxidizing agent, means never it can be attacked by the different chemical agents. Ordinary glass is attacked more easily by alkaline solution than the acid solutions. Now see, where the ordinary glass is made up of the certain sodium carbonate and the silicates of sodium, where it can be easily attacked by the alkaline solution than the acid solution. This reaction takes place only at room temperature. This reaction takes place at only at room temperature. Ordinary glass is an alkaline in nature. It is a salt of strong base and weak acid. Therefore, glass slowly reacts with water and leaches out sodium silicates. As I told, what is that is ordinary glass consisting of sodium silicates that can be slowly reacts with the a certain strong base and the weak acids, where glass is attacked by HF. This is very important solution. This is very important. We can say the chemical property where glass is attacked by only hydrofluoric acid HF solution. Since glass is a mixture of alkali metal silicates, as we know that we can see here the chemical reactions where how it can be attacked by the hydrofluoric acid, that is HF solution, where oxides of sodium and the silica, oxides of calcium and the silica and simple silica, if it is reacted with the HF, it forms different SiF4 and the NaF as well as calcium fluoride, where the glass when fused with the fusion mixture, alkali silicates and the carbonates of the calcium and other metals are formed. This resultant mass is then cooled. Then it is treated with the HCl when silic acid and the chlorides of metals are formed. So these are the different chemical properties of the glass, where we have to remember that actually the glass is not attacked by the air and any oxidizing agents, but the ordinary glass which can be attacked by the different alkaline we can say solutions of acids, as well as glass is attacked by the HF solutions only. Now come to the classification of the glass. This is very important, where the glass can be classified in a different 8 to 10 types of the glass, where the classification is defined on the basis of the composition properties, where which type of the composition is there and where the properties of the glass is there. Where we can see the first is the bottle glass or the common glass. It is a mixture of sodium, calcium, aluminum and Fe-silicates. It is a mixture of sodium, calcium, aluminum and Fe-silicates. It is fuses with, if you see the properties, it is a more difficult than soda lime. It is used in the making of the bottles as well as medicinal phials, means small glass bottle. You can see the any medical shop, there are small bottles are there which is made up of the simple bottle glass. Second is the silica glass or quartz glass. This is called as silica glass or quartz glass. It is made up of composition, if you see, pure silica, that is SiO2. Therefore, it is a pure silica glass is there. It possesses the low expansion and high softening point. This is very important. It is does not break even put into water and while red hot. This is called as a very strong glass or quartz glass. It is not break even if you supply the hot condition or any red hot condition will be there. That should not be the breakable. It is used in the making of silica crucibles. As we know that in the laboratory purpose we are familiar about the silica crucibles. These silica crucibles are made up of by the quartz glass or the silica glass. Next is Pyrex glass. This Pyrex glass is also known as aluminosilicate glass. This is called as aluminosilicate glass, where you see the composition, it contains 20% or more than aluminium. See, where the name of the Pyrex glass is given as aluminosilicate, means definitely it consisting of aluminum, where the aluminum contains 20% or more than with respect to sodium borosilicate, where the properties it is resistant to heat, shock, common reagents, it is coefficient of expansion is very low, it resistance deformation at higher temperature, where it can be used in the preparing the laboratory wares as well as high tension insulators, as well as they are used in especially telescope lenses. Next is soda lime glass or soda glass or soft glass. Here we can see the composition of soda glass. It contains 70 to 74% of the silica, 10 to 13% of the calcium oxide, and 13 to 16% of sodium oxide. These are the main compositions of the soda lime, where the properties, if you see, it fuses at comparatively low temperature, it has low heat resistance and chemically durability. It is used for the manufacture of laboratory containers, electric lamp, glass tube, flat glass, tablewares, glass beads, and many other articles. There the application of soda lime glass or soda glass is there. Next is lead alkaline silicate glass. Lead alkaline silicate glass, or this is also called as flint glass. It's also called as the flint glass, where you see the composition. It is composed of 20% of lead oxide, that is PbO, and 18% of alkali oxide, that is K2O. That is 62% of the silica, where is silica is the main component of the all the purpose with respect to the silica composition. Some other compositions are added with respect to their type of the glass, where we can see the lead alkali silicate glass. It is more composition of the lead, that is 20% of the lead oxide, and 18% of the alkali oxide, 62% of the silica, which is the properties. If we see, due to the high density, it possesses the high refractive index, therefore it is transparent to visible radiation, but it cut off the X-ray and gamma radiations. It is used in the manufacture of lenses and prisms. This is very important. It is used in the manufacture of lenses and prisms. Next is borosilicate glass. This is called as hard glass. Very important. This is the borosilicate glass. As we know, we are familiar about the borosilicate glass. The composition of the borosilicate glass, it contains about 8 to 80 to 87% of the silica, 30 to 20% of the, that is borax, that is 8 more percent of the silica is there. This is a very hard substance. It has a low expansion, high electric resistance. Low expansion, high electric resistance. It is used in the laboratory glassware. This is very important, where the purpose of this hard glass is used in the, where the laboratory glasswares, where we know the hard glass tube. Hard glass tube nothing but this made up of the borosilicate glass is there. Next is optical glass, that is also called as Crookes glass. It contains only borosilicate, where glass containing the cerium oxide is called as the Crookes glass. Very important. What is the Crookes glass? It is a borosilicate, but in addition to the borosilicate, it must contain the cerium oxide is the Crookes glass. It does not transmit any ultraviolet rays. What is the properties it has? It does not transmit any ultraviolet rays. It is mainly used in making of optical lenses. It is mainly used in the making of optical lenses. And the last one, which is the Jinnah glass. What is a Jinnah glass? Composition is, it is a mixture of zinc and barium borosilicate. It is a composition of zinc and barium borosilicate. Properties, it is very resistant to heat, shock and common reagents. It is used in the preparing of the laboratory wares. This is also used in the preparation of the laboratory wares. So with this we can see here the we can see the different properties of the glass, physical properties, chemical properties, as well as the classification of different glass. The classification of glass on the basis of composition, properties, and how they can be applied, how are the uses of the different glass they are classified. So with this I will stop here. In the next lecture we will see some more important regarding the glass industry, as well as the manufacture of the glass, the main steps involved in the manufacture of the glass we are going to see in the next lecture. So thank you for watching this lecture. Thank you so much.